So what does doing the work after a breakup really means? I got so many comments on my channel, people saying, Coach Paz, I'm just sick and tired of hearing people say, do the work, do the work. What is the fucking work? In today's session, I'm going to tell you exactly what is the work and how you need to do it to make sure that you're healing correctly and you're on the right path towards healing. Because if you're not going on the right path towards healing, let me tell you, you are going towards destruction. And that's just it. I'm Coach Paz Goldman, your relationship and breakup coach. Now, when you start your healing journey, you start watching all of these videos and you hear people say, do the work, do the work. It becomes very frustrating to you if you don't really understand what it is, because you say, I want to do it, but I don't really know what to do. So I'm going to tell you the first thing, the very first thing, before I'm going to my presentation here and outline 7 things for you about the work, I'm going to tell you that the first thing that you must do is understanding your ex. That's the very first thing. That's a part of the work. Understanding who your ex was, why they did what they did, and that's the very first step. And I know that all of you guys battling with this because you say to yourself, I want to heal, but all I'm watching is videos about avoidance, narcissism, monkey branching, rebounds, whatever the case might be for you. You need to realize who they were. Now, I would give it between 1 to 2 months to fully realize that. That's the first stage of doing the work. You are kind of like investigating and seeing what the hell happened there. Once you understand their behaviors, it gives you some kind of clarity and it eases your mind to go to the next step. The next step is the actual work. The actual work is the personal development work on yourself, which I'm going to outline 7 things that you must do in order to actually do the work. And like I said, the work is the personal development work. Number 1 is facing your emotions instead of avoiding them. Allowing yourself to grieve, cry, feel the anger, confusion, and sadness without numbing out with rebounds, hookups, alcohol, or distractions. Journaling, therapy, or meditation. You are doing meditation to process those emotions. Ignoring the pain keeps you stuck, and facing it will heal you. So there are no vices. That's the most important thing. When you do the work, you are facing your emotions. You're not numbing them. So no drugs, no alcohol, no pornography, no rebounds, no other people that try to distract you. None of that. It's pure you versus you until you conquer you and you become one with yourself, because you need to tame the animal and the beast that is within you. You need to resist a lot of your bodily urges, to call them. You need to resist to numb yourself. You need to resist all of this stuff. And that's tough. That is tough. You need to deal with the intrusive thoughts. You need to deal with the loneliness. You need to find a way to be alone but not lonely. All of these things, this is number 1. You need to deal with it. You need to face it. That's something that nobody really wants to do, but that's a part of the work, is sitting, I would say sitting in the pain and the discomfort without numbing yourself. Number 2 is taking accountability for your part. Not all breakups are your fault, but they are your responsibility, and I made a video on it. Make sure you watch it. The breakup wasn't your fault, but it was your responsibility. But growth comes from asking, what could I have done differently? What patterns do I repeat? What blind spots do I need to work on? This is about learning, not self-blame. You don't blame yourself, because when you blame yourself, there is no room for growth. When you blame yourself, it's very definite. But when you are asking yourself what could have done different, or you take the responsibility, then you say to yourself what could have done different. And it's a question that leads you to healing and growth. Sorry, to growth and healing, because the healing comes after the growth. When you get the realizations, when you ask yourself the correct questions, this is how you will grow. And the healing journey is a self-love process. The self-love process comes from progression. This is why I'm telling you guys, you got to ask yourself questions each and every single day. What am I about? And the question goes like this: what I'm about to do now, is it going to be progressive towards my healing or regressive? Is it going to progress me towards the person I want to become or regressive towards the person I used to be? When you ask yourself these questions and you say, yeah, I'm progressing and I'm doing this for me and not to me, you stop becoming the victim, you start to become the victor. This is start leading you towards the path of healing, becoming, changing. You're not stagnating anymore. You progress. Every time you progress, you heal a part of yourself. Progress, heal a part of yourself. That's a part of the work to take the accountability for your part because you had a part in this. Maybe you even accepted unacceptable behaviors, your part, overlooked red flags, your part. There are many things. Not blame, don't judge yourself, but do take a responsibility and accountability. Number three is breaking unhealthy attachments, cutting contact when it's possible, because sometimes you have kids together or mutual obligations, and it's very hard to cut content or go radio silent and say that's it. But if you have the privilege of going radio silence, meaning blocking, cutting all lines of communication, do that. If you have mutual obligations, you will need to deal with them. Business as usual without talking about the relationship at all. Talk to them like a business partner, not like an ex-partner. So you're not clinging to breadcrumbs of attention when you cut this communication. And unfollow, mute, radio silence means just cut all line of communication. You don't need that. Number four, rebuilding your self-worth, healing the part of you that tied to your value of the relationship. You will need to start detaching from your old self and attaching yourself to your new self. So you will need to create a 10.0 version of yourself and make sure that you're operating from your the highest version of yourself and not the lowest version of yourself. This is how you build self-worth, when you start to create a new identity, the stronger and the best and the beast version of yourself, by going to the gym, eating right, reading the right materials, get coaching or therapy that helps you to understand life better, not just the relationship, help you understand relationship dynamics better. It's a part of the healing process as well. Then you start building your self-worth. And what is self-worth? Self-worth comes from investing in yourself. The more you invest in yourself, your worth rises. This is why you got to invest in yourself, whether it's time, money, or all of the above. You have to. This is why I'm also always offering you guys to get the Rise of the Phoenix, my online healing coaching program, to help you, to guide you, to show you the correct way. Talk to me so I can help you with your understanding about the relationship, about life, about just not just relational masculinity, also femininity, understanding your partner, understanding you. There's so much to learn, and your self-worth will rise only when you invest in yourself. So check the links in the description below. Everything you need is over there. Number five is strengthening your body, mind, and spirit. Super important. Like I said, your self-worth comes when you invest in yourself. If you don't invest in yourself, the time, the money, the energy in your body, and the mind, and the spirit, that's what comprises you as a person. And you have to start raising your value to yourself. When you do, you look back and you say, this person was an angel in disguise that showed me the better version of myself. Or should I say, show me the lesser version of myself. And now I get to see who I don't want to be anymore and who I do want to be. So you create the contrary, you create the exact opposite of who you were, and you're becoming so much more. That is progression, that is life. Number six is learning how to love in a healthier way, understanding attachment style, boundaries, and communication. This is what I'm teaching you here on my channel, on my program, in my one-on-one, everywhere. I'm teaching you the attachment styles, the boundaries, communication, how to recognize red flags without ignoring them, building emotional discipline so next relationship isn't a repeat of the last one. And I told you, the quality of your healing on this breakup will determine the quality of your next relationship and the quality of your life, because relationships are inseparable part of our life. This is why you gotta heal correctly. Do the work. That's the work. And in the Rise of the Phoenix, my coaching program, I am leading you step by step to do the work, the introspection, the getting the realizations, to synchronize between your mind and your heart, and all of that. So make sure that you take advantage of it. Now, by the way, I'm offering it for only 37 bucks for a limited amount of time. So check the link in the description below. Get this and join me, and let's work together. Number 7 is creating a vision of your future, shifting from I lost them to what do I want to create in my life now? Building life you're excited about, regardless who's in it. This is where you start to realize that you don't need anybody. That you go into a relationship not because you need someone, but because you want someone. And you want someone because you have so much to give that you want to pour into the other person. So then you go into a relationship not from a need, but from a want. And when you go into a relationship from a need, you're needy. And nobody likes needy people. Eventually, it will end. But when you come into a relationship for a want, because you have so much to give, that's blessing, that's beautiful, and you will attract who you are. So if you come needy into a relationship, you will attract a needy person. But when you go into a relationship because of a want, because you're so whole that you want to pour into the other person, guess what? What will happen? You will find your match, and then both of you build a healthy bond, a divine union together. Not because you need to reassure each other all the time, but because you want to build and grow together. Last but not least, it's the bottom line. Doing the work means turning your pain into power. It's actively healing, learning, and growing instead of passively waiting for the time or a new relationship to fix you. So, my dear friends, I hope that now you understand better what does it mean to actually do the work. It's introspection, drawing conclusions, going to the gym, rebuilding your self-worth, breaking unhealthy attachments, understanding relationship dynamics, facing your emotions, taking accountability, become better through action, because the healing journey is not passive. It's a very hands-on, active journey that you must take. You must do the work, and you cannot wait for the work to do you. You cannot wait for time to heal you. You cannot wait for anything. Very actively, like I said, it's not a passive thing. Healing is active, and you will need to get out of your comfort zone. You will need to push yourself. You need to deal with resistance. You need to deal with a lot of I would say, uncomfortable emotions. But when you learn that, this is how you learn how to self-soothe yourself. You learn so many things on this journey when you actively participating in it, not numbing yourself and not looking from the sidelines. You're in it, and you're in it to win it, and I'm here to help you to do just that. That said, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I love you so much. God bless you, and I will see you again in the next one.